Welcome into the video. I'm your tech guy Wayne, and today I'll be bringing you my full new user guide on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 7. This is a compilation of every video I've made on this watch to really help you get up to speed on how to pair with your phone, how to use it, great tips and tricks that you'll need, and just fun things that you wouldn't even know the watch does. Basically, I've just took every video I've made on the watch and I've just put it in one long video. And the video is broken up into chapters, so you can jump down to the description to see all the chapter markers and kind of jump to what section would make the most sense for you, and watch all the way through. And this, if you've just got your Watch 7, you should be almost an expert on your Watch 7 once you get to the end. So watch to the end so you don't miss any important steps. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. The first thing you'll need to do is simply plug in your charger and connect that charger right underneath to turn on the watch. And in most cases, it will only take a few seconds for it to make the connection. So there we go. We see the little charging icon, and it looks like it already has some battery. Now, what you may also need to do is hold down on the power button for 1 second to give it a little kick on. And the orange button, the button that has the orange outline, that is your power button. So we verified that it has some juice. We hit the power button to turn it on. And now it's going to take a few seconds for it to boot up, but then it should send out a ping to all the surrounding phones to try to pair. And there it is. It just sent the ping to the phone. We're going to tap connect. Now for the video, I'll be pairing the Watch 7 to my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, but I do want to point out that you can also pair this with any Android phone. It doesn't have to be a Samsung phone. Now, if you're not pairing it to a Samsung phone, what you'll need to do is you'll want to go to the Play Store and you'll want to search for the Galaxy Wearable app. This is the app that you use to set up and control the watch. So you'll need to download this app to your phone if it's not a Samsung phone. You can simply go to that Galaxy Wearable app and we can just do it right through there. I'm going to go to the Play Store. I've already downloaded my Galaxy Wearable app. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to hit start. Here we go. So you'll want to just make sure that this number matches what's on the watch here, and it does. I'm going to hit confirm. Now it's going to download the appropriate software that it needs for this particular watch. I do want to point out as well, this is the Wi-Fi variant of the Watch 7. It's not the LTE version. Once the setup is done, or somewhere at the end of the setup, there is a pop-up that will ask if you want to activate the watch with your carrier. So just keep that in mind. Look out for that pop-up if you'd like to enable the LTE service so you can answer calls and texts when you're not by your phone. I'm going to enable, or basically check the box for all the terms and conditions and hit continue. I'm going to allow permissions for the watch to access all these services. For the next step here, you'll want to link it with one of your Google accounts. This is really important because if you ever lose your watch, you can use the Find My Device option to be able to locate the watch. So just FYI there. I'm going to hit continue. Next, we'll need to accept the terms and conditions from Google. Hit I agree. So on this page, we can select a few of the apps that we already have on our phone to be synced up with the watch. I'm going to hit continue. And next, we can turn on the auto watch backup, so it's always backing up your data. Next, you'll select what wrist you'll be wearing the watch on. I normally wear it on my right wrist. Next, it's letting you know you can create custom workout routines. Check your body battery levels. Better sleep. Next. Now this is pretty cool. This is the gesture, one of the fun gestures you can do, which is a double tap, just like this. On the wrist that has the watch, and this will allow you to answer calls, dismiss alerts. You can play and pause music, and you can also take photos using the camera as well. So that's definitely pretty cool. And there's some new features in terms of in emergency mode that you can trigger emergency services. One being if there is a fall detected, or I believe if you're involved in a crash as well. Let's hit next.
There we go. So our watch is now fully set up and ready to go. So I'm going to move away from the phone right now, and I just want to do a quick walkthrough of how to use the watch. We'll talk about how to navigate just the menus and just the basic things you'll need to know in terms of navigating. The watch does a ton, and we can't go over every single thing it does, but I just want to make sure you understand like where to find things, how to access the settings, and what are the important things you'll need to be paying attention to, okay? Now you can take a tour. I'm going to skip the tour for now, but for your watch, take the tour and it'll let you practice some of the different gestures and things. So we'll skip that. All right, so here's our main watch face. And it's showing you that whenever you see a little orange or red dot to the left here, it means you have a new notification. So you'd want to swipe to the right, and then you can swipe through those different notifications and things that are coming through the phone. After you've swiped through everything, you can tap this clear all button to get rid of those notifications. So first, let's just start with simple navigation, like how to move around. So swiping down from the top of the screen will access your shortcuts at the top here, and you have some fun things here. So first of all, you have your sound settings. So if you want to put your watch on vibrate or sound off, you're going to tap that. This is the mute setting. When this is on, if you get a text message, it will make a ping sound, and when you make calls, it will also it'll ring as well. In the center here, this is the always on display, and basically when this is enabled, whenever the screen is off, you'll still be able to see the time. So if you give it a few seconds, the screen is going to go off, but then you'll still be able to see the time even though the screen is technically not on. Okay, so now you can see that the watch face is now dim, and this is the always on clock. So even if you're not using the screen, you'll still always be able to see the time. And the cool thing is, as you download different watch faces, they all have their own unique always on clock that will show. And as soon as I tap the screen, it will wake up. All right. So now, while I love this always on clock feature, it can be a big drainer on battery. So I don't recommend that you keep it on all the time. Unfortunately, it just is a big drainer on battery, but it's fun when you go out to events to have it on. So, you know, it might be something you want to use sort of sparingly. I'm going to just turn it off for now. Okay, and also forgive me, I went in a really weird order. I don't know why I started in the bottom right. I should have started in the top left. So that was silly of me to do. But anyway, to the far left here, this is your power saving mode. You can turn this on if you're simply just trying to, you know, conserve battery. You have your power button here, and this you can power off the watch, or you can make a call to emergency services. You can also program medical information on the watch as well. And I'm not going to go through every single one. I want to mainly focus on navigating the watch, but I just wanted to show you some of those important things. Now, this is your shortcut to settings. This will take you right to your settings menu, and this will take you to your different modes. Now, this is an important one to know because, for example, if you go into a movie theater, you can turn on the theater mode, which will dim down the screen, and it will silence all notifications. And this is the sleep mode as well, and this you can manually turn this on, so at night, again, you won't get bombarded with notifications, and you can also customize that in the settings. Now, you can also swipe to the left, and there's another list of options. You can turn your watch to a flashlight, control the brightness, do not disturb mode. You can toggle the Wi-Fi on and off, and you can turn on the water lock mode, which is great for when you're in the shower or in a pool. The watch is very sensitive to touch, and so if you're going to be around water, you'll want to turn on that water lock just so that your watch doesn't go crazy. And then you have a few other options here as well. So this is just your main shortcuts to the most frequently used settings. Now, so just want to point out once again, when you swipe to the right, it will show notifications, but when you swipe to the left on the home screen, it will show some different things. So these are called tiles. This is your activity tracker, and this will basically track your steps, your active time, and your activity calories as well. So this is great for just tracking how active you are for the day. And as we keep swiping through, you have some shortcuts to launch workouts. So walking, running, biking, and more. The watch will also actively detect your workouts. So for example, I tend to run a lot. And so if I'm walking or running, after about 10 minutes, it will detect it and it will pick up tracking the entire workout. So you either want to start this at the beginning of your workout or just simply start the workout and the watch should detect what you're doing and start tracking. Now, right now I just tapped the wrong option. If I want to go back, I simply just need to start on the left side of the watch and swipe in, and that takes you back one step. So side of the watch and just swipe in. That's how you go back one step. As we keep swiping through here, you have an energy score tile. You have this tile, which is sort of a snapshot of your heart rate, your steps, and some other things here, your sleep. You have your weather, you have your calendar, and your battery life for the watch and for your phone, ECG score, and you can add more tiles and you can rearrange those tiles. Now I want to point out, if you hold down on any one of these tiles for 1 second, it will allow you to erase a tile that maybe you say, hey, I'm not going to use that. For example, you might say, I don't really want to use this one. I don't know what that does. Tap on the red minus in the upper right corner, and that will just delete that tile. You can also hold down the tile. So hold down to get to the menu, hold down again, and then you can drag left or right, and you can change the order. Maybe you want your weather to be much closer to the front when you swipe, so you can drag it over like that. So those are just a few things you can do in terms of just organizing the order of what tiles you see. Okay. Now, when you swipe up on the main screen, it takes you to your apps. This will show you all the apps that are currently installed on your watch, and you can swipe through. So you have, timers, alarms, you have a video player, your Outlook email, your camera controller, your voice recorder, calculator, your alarm or your routines, Galaxy Buds. So you have all kind of apps that are already installed here, and you can obviously install more. Now, as we swipe up, now if you tap on this little circle right here, this is your recent apps. Now, this will show you all the apps that are currently running in the background of your watch. You can simply hit close all if you want to close all the apps. This is something you should do once a day just to help with the watch not overworking and the battery draining. Now, also, I can hold down on the home screen here, and this will allow me to either customize the current watch face I'm using, or watch this, hold down again, swipe over, or I can add a new watch face. So let's add a new watch face. There's a couple that come pre-installed. I really like this one because this is the watch face that comes installed on the Ultra. So maybe you opted to get the lower end model, but you can still have the same look that the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra has, which is pretty sweet. So now there are a lot more watch faces you can download, and I'll show you how to do that once we get back to the wearable app. Now, if you hold down on the home screen and you tap on customize, here you can basically change, how all the colors, what data is shown. You have a lot of control here. So right now, at the top here is showing you this is the background. So I can just swipe around the edge of the watch here to switch between different background options. So from there, or I can swipe this way, and there's a ton of background options that are available. Let's go with, went back to the main one. Okay, we can go to this one. If you go up to the top here, there's some fun two-tone ones as well. Let's go with that one. And if I swipe left, I can change the font size or the font type. Let's go with this one. Now I can change more colors on the screen. So let's go with this one here. I like that. And then swipe left. And then I can actually change what data is shown on the screen. So maybe you don't want the compass to be in the center. Maybe you would rather see your battery life. You can simply tap on that little blue circle and you can then pick a different option. So let's go to, for example, battery. I want to know my battery percentage so I know if I need to charge up. And there's so many options that are going to be available in this menu here. Okay, let's pick our messages, and now I have a shortcut to my messages right in the center here. And then you can pick on any one of these other options if you want to change the data that's shown. And if we swipe left, you can also change what data is shown here, here, and here. So you have a lot of different options when it comes to customizing, and every watch will allow you to customize different things about the watch. So pretty cool. All right, let's switch over to the wearable app. So I can show you some of the things you can do within there and things that you'll want to set right out of the gate. So let's swipe up and let's go to watch settings. Now let's start with going to notifications, because you'll want to set what apps have permission to send notifications to the watch. We're going to tap on app notifications. And here you'll see that there's some that are already selected, but you can go through and you can select more. I encourage you not to select all. You don't want to allow every single app to send notifications, because if not, your wrist is going to just vibrate all day and it's going to be very annoying. So go through and decide. Maybe you use the Google Messages app and you don't use the Samsung Messages. Well, in that case, you'll want to turn on messages and turn off this messages. You may also go through here and say, okay, I want my Google Chat to send messages. Let's see, what else? I caution you against Instagram alerts and YouTube alerts, because those just send alerts all friggin' day and it can be really frustrating. So it's something that, you know, if you want, you can always turn it on and then turn it off later if it gets annoying. In my experience, those just tend to be very tedious and they're always popping up. Now, Uber, that's definitely one I'd love to have the alerts go to my watch. So if my ride is here, I can look down and my ride is here. So anyway, this is how you control what apps are going to send you notifications. Now, right now, out of the box, it's set where you're only going to get notifications to your watch if you're not on your phone. Because if you're on your phone, you should be seeing the notification. So it's only going to ping you when you're not using the phone, but you can change that. You can tell it, hey, show me alerts even if I'm using the phone. So that's up to you to figure out what works best for you. Now, another thing, right now it's set to sync the do not disturb mode with your phone. So basically, if you turn on do not disturb on your phone, it's going to put your watch in do not disturb, and vice versa. So that also might be a setting you may want to change. Sometimes we don't want our phone to ping, but we do want our watch to still let us know if something is happening. Now, let's go back. So next, let's go to buttons and gestures. And here, you'll notice that all the gestures by default are turned off. And so you may want to turn these on. The gestures are really cool, and you can do a lot of just fun things with them. So you'll simply want to enable these, and when you try to turn them on, it's going to give you a demonstration of what it looks like. So when you pinch, again, that's going to allow you to answer a call, dismiss an alert, launch an app, control your music, or take photos. You just pinch twice. So let's turn this on. You can always turn these off later, but I would say just turn it on now. This is showing you when you twist your wrist twice, you can shake to dismiss alerts as well. And there's a feature called knock knock, which is knocking twice. You can program the watch where when you do a double knock gesture, you can have it launch a specific app, a specific workout routine. You can tie it to a lot of different things. I actually have a whole video where I talk about the different gestures, and I'll link that video right here so you can see kind of what the gestures look like and some of the different things you can do with them. Now here's another one. So right here it says press and hold to launch Bixby. Now you can change it. So this is showing you when you basically press and hold the power button, it'll launch the Bixby Assistant, but you can actually just make it so when you press and hold, it will bring you the power off menu. So you kind of decide what works best for you there. I'm also going to link here a tips and tricks video so you can see a bunch of other things you can do with the watch. Again, there's so much, I can't cover it all in this video, but I want to just make sure you have all the information on what you can do with the Watch 7. Okay, next, let's talk about how to get more cool watch faces for the watch. So right here, we're going to tap on watch faces, and you'll find a big list. Now, I just want to show you as we swipe through here, you're going to see there's only 2 that are currently synced with the watch. So if you want to add more to the watch, you simply just have to go through this list here. I think you can do up to 10 watches at one time. So let's go through and just download a few more watches. Let's download this one. You're going to hit allow and install. And let's see, that one looks pretty cool. Let's do that one. And just simply swipe through the list. And there's even more watches available than what you see on this list here. But these are the main ones that are going to come pre-installed, and you can download more obviously from the Play Store. This is a cool one here, and this one mirrors the Watch 4, which was definitely one of my favorites back in the day. So I'm going to add that one. And you can see how it's also updating on the watch as well. All right, so we've added a couple here. Let's add 2 more. Because again, whatever you see up here is going to be available on the watch. It's actually going to download and install to the watch. So that's why you want to add a couple, because if you ever want to change it, you won't always have to use the phone to sync it. So I like this weather app. This one's kind of cool. Let's update that one. And let's just pick one more. This one is pretty cool as well. This photo one will actually let you add your own picture as the background of the watch. So right now you can see it's a picture of a dog. Now right here, if I tap on this little pencil, this will let me change the background. I'm going to tap background. I'm going to hit plus, gallery, allow all. And now I can go in and I can make my own picture the background. There we go. I'm going to increase the brightness a bit. Hit done. And now I'll have my own picture as the background. Obviously, you may want to make it a family member or a place that you like to hang out. So that's how you change the background so that the watch will show one of your own custom pictures. We're going to hit save. So now it's locked in. And you can see that's what it looks like on the screen. So again, you can add more. But right now we have 4 watches that are synced, that are going to sync with the watch and be actually on the watch, so you can change it whenever you want. Now, if I swipe all the way to the bottom, I can go more watches on Google Play, and then I can go to the Play Store and download lots of other fun watch faces here. So that's kind of watch faces in a nutshell. And again, tapping on any one of these will allow you to customize it in the app as well. You select it and then tap on that little blue pencil, and that's going to let you change the color and do any other customization based on what you see in the settings here. Now, so far, guys, if you found value in the video, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It'll help this video to reach more people and just help folks who are new to this watch. Now, next, let's talk about the tiles. Now, I showed you when you swipe to the left and you see all those different tiles. There are more tiles that are available. Now, these are all the ones that are currently on the watch. If you'd like to delete more, you can also do it within the app here. For example, maybe this today's events, you can hit the minus and erase that. And you can go through and you'll find some other really cool widgets, or tiles that are available. So for example, like tracking your food, that's a good one. This is a more detailed steps tracker. This is a heart rate tracker, AGE index. So go through and find, other watch faces that you like. You can also change the order from here by simply holding down on one of the watches and dragging it left or right. So the further left you bring it, the closer it'll be. Now, once you hit save, it's going to sync with the watch. So now when you swipe left, you're going to see that first instead of that other set of this thing right here. So you can do a lot of the customization within the app, and I would encourage you to do that because the app it's just easier to move things around. So next, spend some time in the tips and user guide section. You'll find a bunch of other really helpful tips there. I want to show you what it looks like when a call comes through the phone, so you know how to answer the phone. It's really simple, but I just want to show it anyway. So I'm going to trigger a call right now, and you'll see it pop up on the screen. Now you can put your finger on the green button and drag up, and that will answer. And then you can also drag here to raise or lower the volume. Now let's trigger that call again, but this time we're going to decline the call. And I want to show you how you can send an auto reply. Okay, so to decline the call, first you can either drag the red call button this way, or if you swipe up, you can send a text reply. Please text me. Now that way it will decline the call, and it will also send the auto text as well saying, hey, please text me, I'm not available right now. Now let's jump back to the watch here. I want to show you a few more things before we close out the video. I want to show you how to set up your Samsung Pay, because you can add your credit card right to your watch and you can pay right from your watch. So holding down on this bottom button here, simply hold down for 1 second. That's going to launch your Samsung wallet. You're going to hit the arrow, and this is going to first install it. And then it's going to kick you right back over to the phone, where you'll need to set up Samsung Pay on your phone first. Once you set it up on the phone, then you can sync specific credit cards with your watch, and you'll be able to pay with your watch. So we're going to hit install. Once installed, we're going to hit open. We're going to hit verify, and you'll want to set a PIN for your wallet. You're going to have to enter this PIN every single time you try to pay with your watch. All right, so now my PIN is in. I'm next going to need to scan my fingerprint. Hit continue. Now, in order to use Samsung Pay, you will need to set up a watch screen lock, which is going to be a code that you will enter on your watch. So it's going to lock your watch and make it more secure. We're going to hit settings. You'll decide if you want it to be a PIN code or a pattern. I'm going to make mine a PIN code. We're going to check the box here. Tap on set PIN. And then you're set a 4-digit PIN for your watch. It will make you enter it twice. Make sure it's something that you can remember, obviously. And if you look at the phone here, we're all done. We're going to hit done. And now, so again, my account is already set up, so it may ask you to do a few more things first, but you'll want to go to payment cards. Now I already have a credit card that is synced again to my account. So all I need to do is hit activate to add the card, and then I'll be good to go. Now, just so you can see, this is what the PIN screen looks like. And I have to enter this PIN code first before I can do any more changes on the phone that will show on the watch. So tapping the screen here, and you'll see the little lock at the top here, and I'm going to enter that PIN code. Okay, so my PIN code is in. Now I can jump back over and I can activate this credit card. And then you'll need to have your card handy so you can enter the expiration, the security code, and your zip code. Now, there was one small hiccup when I tried to do this. For some reason, it said that the credit card company declined the request to be able to add the credit card to my wallet. So here is the backup way if that happens to you. So on your Samsung phone, you're going to swipe up to get to Samsung Pay, and you'll hit the plus in the upper right corner to add a new card to your wallet. So I'm going to hit payment cards and then add a credit card. Now you can add the card by scanning it, or you can hit add card manually. And then you can enter the credit card number, the card name. Let's do all that right now. Okay, so I added all the information in. I'm going to agree to the terms, and then we'll go back and try again to add the credit card. We do need to have it send a text message to verify the information. It's blurred out for security purposes, so if you see any blurriness on the screen, that's why. Okay, so we've successfully added a new card to our Samsung wallet. Now, it's going to ask you automatically if you want to add that card to your watch. So this is even better. So we're going to hit set, hit replace as our default card, tap add to watch. We're going to agree to the terms again. We have to verify the card again. And there we go. Our card is officially added to our wallet. So now we do need to do a quick update. So we'll update the wallet. Lots of steps, for the sake of security and running the latest software. So it's a little tedious, but I wanted to make sure to walk through all these steps with you so that you can successfully add a card to your watch as well. You should be able to use your watch at any terminal that uses NFC. A lot of the terminals in the US are being converted so that you can do wireless payments. So if it accepts just tap payments, then you should be able to pay with your watch. Let's switch back over to the watch now. We will have to put our PIN code in. Okay, now let's hold down on that bottom button to launch our Samsung Pay, and we'll enter our PIN. And now our credit card is showing up, which is perfect. And now you take your watch and you hold it right next to the reader, and it will be able to pick up your credit card signal and allow you to pay. So anyway, that is the process to set up and use Samsung Pay. So right now I have the fabric band, and to take it off, it's super easy. On the back here, you'll have these little buttons. Use your fingernail, preferably your thumb, to give it a press. And then once I want to make it so you can see it while I'm doing it. So press and then just pull, and it will detach that easy. One more time, press and just pull away. And now our band is off. And now I'm going to be adding the sport band. And when you put your bands on, pay attention to the orange. The orange should line up on the same side as your home button, which also has an orange outline. See that? And so that's gonna go down there. This will go up like this. Flip it over. And the same process, we're going to press the button first, and then it'll fit nice and neat in that little space. Do that a few times for it to snap in. There we go. All right, let's press the button here and put one side in first, and then firmly press down the other side before letting go, and give it a little twist. And now it's on. There we go. So that's our sport band. That's how easy it is to change the bands out. Now I also want to show you guys this really cool watch band from a company called Pitaka. This is a carbon fiber watch band, which is really nice. And it's adjustable, so you can actually take these little rings off to make it tighter, kind of adjust it to your wrist size. And you can see right there, I have it on my wrist right now. It has a really nice feel. It has a really nice clean look as well. I'll make sure to drop a link in the description to where you can get that band. First up, let's go over how to turn on that always on display. You're gonna swipe down from the top of the screen and tap on this icon in the second row in the middle. This is your always on display. And basically, when your screen goes to sleep, you'll still be able to see the time on the screen. But here's what it looks like in the always on display mode. You're gonna see the screen go off, but you'll still be able to see the time. And sometimes it'll show a few other things on screen as well. The cool thing is just about any watch face that you turn on will have an always on display, and it's a really nice showing. So right now the screen is dim, or the screen is off, but guess what? I can still see the time. It's just a lot dimmer. Now, one thing to note, when you have this turned on, it will drain more of your battery. So I wouldn't encourage you to keep this on all the time, maybe for certain events or certain environments, but not always. Next up, we can program double tapping our home button to launch the app of your choice or the action of your choice by doing this. We're gonna swipe down from the top of the screen, tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner. We're gonna swipe, so we'll start at the top here. You'll swipe down to buttons and gestures. From here, the first option is going to say double press. And the second option is going to say press and hold. It's referring to this top button with the orange outline. So if I double press the button, I can have it launch a specific app or command. So for double press, I'm gonna just tap on the option here, and I can go through a list of shortcuts that I can program. Now, one of the most useful features that I tend to use often is the water lock. Now that's if you were to take a shower or go swimming, you can turn on this water lock feature so that the screen will disable and you won't feel your watch constantly vibrating from the water. So this is a cool option to enable. So now if I double press on that home button, it will automatically water lock the watch so that the touchscreen no longer works. Now disabling this is super easy. I'm simply going to hold on that home button one time until I see this, and then you'll have to press it again. There you go. And now we're out of that water lock setting. So that's one option of something you can launch. Now I'm going to change it one more time. I can also just have it launch a specific app. So we can go through the list here. Maybe you want it to go right to your Audible so you can listen to your audiobooks. That's a cool option. You can have it launch your calculator, your calendar. or even your camera controllers. Now, out of the box, your phone is going to be set where when you long press the button, it will launch the Bixby Assistant. Now, some of you might say, that's okay, but can I have it launch Google Assistant instead? I'd much rather use that. Well, let me show you how to do that next. I'm a bigger fan of the Google Assistant versus Bixby, so I would like to switch it. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is swipe down from the top of the screen. We're gonna go to our settings. We're gonna go back to buttons and gestures. Now, for the press and hold, if we tap here, this is where we would switch from the Bixby Assistant to the Google Assistant. Now, again, by default, it's going to be set to Bixby. Mine is already switched to the Google Assistant. And now, whenever I press and hold the button just like this, it will launch the Google Assistant, and then it will follow those commands. Next up, how to turn on the watch only mode. Now in this mode, it's a great option if you're trying to conserve battery life. You can simply switch the watch into watch only mode where it will only show the time and that's it. So we'll swipe down from the top of the screen, tap on the settings wheel in the right corner. You're gonna scroll all the way up to battery. And from here, swipe up until you get to watch only. To get 5 days and 3 hours of use, turn on watch only, which turns off everything except the watch face when you press the home key. So we're gonna turn this on. Tap turn on here, give it a few seconds. And now you can only activate the watch when you tap on the home button, and this is what it will show. I know this is basic, but if you find yourself in a situation where your battery is low and you really need your watch to at least be able to give you the time if nothing else, you'll want to enable the watch only mode. Now to turn it off is really easy. You're going to simply hold down on that home button, give it a few seconds, and you'll see a pop-up that'll let you know that it's going out of that mode. There you go. Once you see Samsung, simply let go of the button and it will take you back to full watch mode. For our last tip, I want to go into the wearable app and I want to go to watch settings and swipe up to the safety and emergency section. And I want to encourage you to turn on this feature. One is going to be the hard fall detection and the emergency SOS feature. Now, the hard fall detection is going to basically send a notification alert to friends or family if you have a really hard fall. And I believe they say it can detect an accident as well. Don't quote me on that part, but essentially any violent movement that is out of the ordinary, it will detect it and it will send an alert to anyone that you've listed under your emergency contacts. So obviously for all these features to work properly, you do need to set it up first. So take a few seconds or take a few minutes and set it up, starting with your medical information. For example, if you have any very specific medical conditions that a medical personnel would need to know in order to operate on you properly, then you should fill them out in here. For example, if you have low blood sugar or maybe you take a certain medication, different things like that. You can plug all this information in here. So if someone was working on you, they could look at your watch and essentially have all the information they would need to give you the proper care. So you'll want to set this up first. Next, you'll want to go to emergency contacts and you'll want to add in at least 2 or 3 emergency contacts, whether it is a parent, a spouse, a girlfriend, a good friend, but have them programmed in here. And then you'll want to turn on share during emergency calls and texts. So that way it is going to ping these emergency contacts to let them know that you are in trouble and you need help. And lastly, in the emergency SOS feature, now this is the feature that you would turn on yourself. Let's say you find yourself in an earthquake or some type of very, like bad situation. You can tap the home button 5 times and it will trigger this feature automatically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will trigger this emergency SOS mode. And then from there, you can have it call 911. You can have it send a ping. So this is the other feature you'll want to turn on called share info with emergency contacts. It's going to send them an SOS alert saying I need help. And it will send them your location. And in some cases, it will take a voice recording of what's happening for a duration. So anyway, this is great to turn on because in the event of an emergency, it's a way for you to send out sort of a help to the people that would care the most about you to make sure that they can find you. And obviously, lastly, is turning on that hard fall detection. For our first tip, let's talk about how to turn on the theater mode. You're going to swipe down from the top of the screen and tap on the mode button in the upper left corner. This will take you to your mode options. We're going to tap on theater, and it will automatically put your watch in the theater mode, which will dim down the screen and put your notifications on vibrate. Now, if you want to adjust the settings further, you can swipe down from the top. In the upper right corner, tap on the settings wheel, go to modes, and then tap on theater mode. And here you can actually set the duration of how long your watch is in the theater mode, and it'll automatically go off after that set duration. Mine is set for 2 hours. So after 2 hours, it'll automatically turn off the theater mode, but you can turn it up to even more, 3 hours or 4 hours. And here it shows you in the theater mode, it's going to turn off the always on display. It's going to turn off the touchscreen to wake. And it's going to silence all of your notification sounds and timers so that it doesn't go off while you're in the theater. Tip number 2, swipe down from the top of the screen. We're going to tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner. We're going to go back to modes. This time, go to sleep. And you'll want to schedule your sleep mode to automatically come on at a certain time of the night by tapping on this switch here. Now, just to show you, when your sleep mode is on, it's going to automatically turn off the always on display. It's going to turn off the raise wrist to wake and the touchscreen to wake. And it's going to put all your notifications on do not disturb. This will actually help you conserve battery life at night, and it will avoid your watch from constantly vibrating when notifications are coming through your phone. We're going to toggle this switch on. And you can set a schedule of what days and times you want it to come on at certain times. I'm going to tap on set schedule. And by default, it's set to 10 p.m. But you can adjust that obviously accordingly depending on how your sleep schedule is. You can swipe to the left as well to set the end time when you want the sleep mode to automatically go off as well. Number 3, this tip is a great one for when you go into the shower or when you go swimming with your watch on. This will turn on the water lock feature, which basically disables the touchscreen so that your watch is not constantly vibrating because of the touch of the water. We're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe to the left, and tap on the icon in the bottom right corner. And now the water lock is enabled. And as you can see, when this is on, the touchscreen is not functional. To turn this off, you're simply going to hold on the power button in the right corner. Hold. You'll want to hold it for 2 seconds. Okay. 1,000, 2, 1,000. It always does this ejecting water feature first for a couple of seconds, and then it will turn off. And as you can see, now my touchscreen is working again just like normal. Number 4, let's talk about how to rearrange your tiles when you swipe left and right on your watch. Right now, when I swipe through my watch, I see very specific tile screens. These are called tiles, but some of these I don't really use, and so therefore I would either like to delete them or move them to a different spot on the screen so that I don't see them as frequently. So let's swipe over to the main screen, and let's start here. And I'm going to swipe over, and I'm going to start on this tile screen, which basically shows me my activity for the day. I'm going to press down and hold for 1 second. It'll take me to this screen. Now notice in the upper right corner, you'll see that little red minus in the corner. And so, for example, for this particular screen here, I don't use it too often. So I can hit the minus and it's going to remove that tile altogether. And same for this weather icon. I don't really use this tile, so I'm going to remove that one. And let's see.
here's my schedule, for example. Now, guess what? I would like my schedule to be closer to the beginning of my swipe. So I'm going to hold down for 1 second and I'm going to drag it left. And this will allow me to change the position of where it shows up. Now, if you bring it all the way to the left, now when I'm on the main screen or the home screen, when I swipe left, it's the first thing I will see. Now, this next tip is super helpful, and I guarantee you're going to be using this one a lot. This one is find my phone. Guess what? Your watch is always going to be on your wrist, but your phone can get lost. So by swiping down from the top of the screen and swiping left again, tap on the icon in the upper right corner. This will ping your phone, and your phone will make this sound, helping you to locate it. I definitely know I'll be using that one for sure. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button down below if any of these tips were helpful or you learned for the first time. For our next tip, I'm going to show you how to program a gesture. There's some cool gesture features that are built in, and one of them is called a knock knock gesture. Now, to turn this on, we're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, and we're going to tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner. And from here, we're going to go up to buttons and gestures. We're going to swipe up to the knock knock gesture. And the knock knock gesture is basically doing this with your hand. So obviously watch on your hand, do a knock knock, and it will trigger an app or an action like this. We're going to tap on select an option, and we can swipe through a list of options or apps that you can trigger to turn on whenever you knock your hand twice like this. Now, I'm going to switch it to messages, and this will be a cool way to trigger my messages whenever I want to just check to see if I have a new text message. Let's give it a try now. There we go. And my text messages came right up, and I can start scrolling through to see what new messages are there and what I want to respond to. If your touchscreen all of a sudden stops working or is not responsive, or your watch is just glitching and you want to just reset it, here's what to do. And we're referring to the Samsung Galaxy Watch FE. You're going to hold down on the power and the bottom button here until the screen goes completely blank. We're going to hold them together on 3. 1, 2, 3, hold. You will see it go to this screen. Continue to hold the buttons. It should only take 5 more seconds. Oh, there you go. And now the screen is off and restarting. So that's what you do. If you notice that the watch is just glitching or not working properly, this should fix the issue, especially if it's software related. I want to give a quick plug to this little portable charger here. This little guy is really inexpensive and is great to have with you, especially if you forget to charge your watch or you wake up and your battery is just super low and you definitely wanted to use the watch that day. This guy can charge the watch almost 100% in about 30 to 45 minutes. So I'll link this below in the description as well. How to reset your Samsung Galaxy Watch 7 back to factory settings. Now there's 2 ways to do this, but the way you want to do it is you want to do it from the Samsung Wear app. And so we're in the app right now. Let me just show you what the app looks like in case you might have forgotten. Some people set the phones up and they never look at the app again. You just go to your search. The app looks like this, wearable. Okay. And you're going to go to the watch settings. Now scroll down to the About Watch section. Swipe up, tap on Reset, and then Reset. Now, it will ask you, do you want to back up your watch data first? So I'm just going to hit Don't Back Up, and that's it. So at this point, it's going to, wipe it from your wearable app, and it's going to wipe the watch itself. So you're going to see the watch restarting, and it's going to take usually no more than like two up to 5 minutes for it to completely wipe all the data. And you'll know that it's finished because when the watch is done, you'll see it generate a code
and it'll say welcome, and then it'll give you a code, and basically you'll use that for the beginning of the setup process. So, but basically there's nothing else you need to do. Just sit, be patient, and let the watch restart a few times. And again, when it's done, you'll see that code. All right. Now, while it's restarting, I just want to point out the other way to factory reset the watch is to do it right from the watch settings. And I don't recommend this because if you don't remove it from the app first, it can cause some issues. And if you don't do it from the phone itself, it will cause some linking issues. So it's better to do it from the app settings versus from the watch. But if you lost your phone and you're not able to access the software to be able to do the reset, then you can do it directly from the watch. All right, and we're all done. As you can see, now it's showing the code on the front here. And basically the watch is now ready to be set up with the brand new device or to simply be turned off and returned or sold to someone else. So that is the process to reset. Hope you guys found this helpful. If it was, hit that like button down below. I also have a playlist with a bunch of other videos on the Watch 7, so make sure you check out that playlist right here for other great videos on the Watch 7. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and as always, have a good one.